All right, so last week we did a lot of things just last week. So just to recap here, let me go up here and give me one moment here. Okay, so we started managing the disk last week, right? So any questions regarding here? So each disk is represented as dev/sda, sdb, whatever, and until it runs out until sdz, and then sdaa starts again. So that's how, I mean, in reality, Linux operating system could manage, lot of disk. It doesn't have to be infinite, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna hit a brick wall somewhere. But in reality, I've seen up to 40 for. I'm sorry, not up to 40. Uh, yeah, I may have seen it 40 or 30. So more than that, well, disk. I don't believe you might find it in a regular environment. You may see that in a scientific arena. Okay. All right. So this is a fdisk we learned. It's a pretty basic building block of disk management in the Linux environment, and this functionality, I think fdisk is available in Windows also. 20 years ago, I used to work on it, but it is you could still use it, but you don't really have to. But it's a really good thing that you know how this is working, the fdisk. All right. So you learned about the size of the file system, the maximum disk size, a single file, and the file system. They are like two file system. Okay. One is ext4 and other one is xfs. And by the way, everything in Linux is everything lowercase. Okay, if you see something like uppercase and like that, just assume it's lowercase unless it is uppercase. And once you make the partition, if you want to format, so partition is what? If you have like a big open, think it of as like a big open room, and you're making you're adding another room to it. So that's what it's called, partition. You're dividing a big open space into another room. So that's how it gets SDB1. And if you make it two partition, then it will be SDB2. And you could have a file system. I compared the file system with the flooring. You could have a hardwood, or you could have a carpet. Okay, so in one room you could have carpet, in another room you could have hardwood floor, right? So that's the same concept. On one partition on a same disk, you could have ext4, and another partition on the same disk you could have xfs4. No problem. All right, so one thing I want to ask everybody is everybody got the concept of mounting the disk, right? Anybody has any issue or questions about what is mount point and all that? Let me know, because this is a
Zafar bhai, can we just go ahead quickly with the mounting one more time, please, if
yeah,
you can?
yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, good. So, all right, so let me log into my system. If you could please go on mute. Oh, I need to connect to my server. All right, so if I do df-h, so what happened was we created the logical volume, right? So this is the disk, and this is the folder which is it's mounted to. Just think this as a viewing place inside the disk. This is a window, and this is the disk. So what will happen is, like if you have a container, right?
Zafar bhai, can I ask you one question before you move
Yeah.
forward? So the accounting is like a file which is stored in this
No, no, no.
path here.
Accounting is a folder.
Okay, accounting is a folder which is stored in this disk
No,
here.
it's not stored in disk. We are just using this folder
Mm-hmm.
to locate the door, to view the data, read and write the data to this disk. Okay.
Oh, okay.
What if I do
Okay.
is if I unmount accounting,
Mm-hmm.
and if I have some other disk, so let's do unmount accounting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see here. So to unmount a disk, you do umount, not unmount, umount slash accounting, and you hit enter. Okay. Oh, I have to be root. Sudo su hyphen. All right. So what I'm gonna do is let me make a new disk here. Give me mkdir. Give me the name of a folder you would like, a new folder.
You can just put Chicago or maybe anything. New York. Let's do New York.
New York. Okay. So if I go into New York, and if I do ls, there is nothing in there. And right now, the New York, if you write something on the New York, touch file 1, and you do ls, and do you want to find out, you wrote in New York, right? But which disk you wrote it to in here? So that question is df hyphen h, and what does a period means?
Present working directory.
Okay, good, very good. So now the file New York is in the folder. I'm sorry, file 1 is in the folder New York, right? But where is it saving it to? That's the question. Where is it saving it to? Anybody?
Saving it to the dev mapper rel root.
Very good. Dev mapper rel root. Okay, so So this file here, give me 1 second here. Okay, so this file here is being saved here. Okay, how do we know that? When we type this command, it gave us the output here. It gave us this information here. And looking at this information here, this information and this information is matching. So this definitely, this file is sitting on rel/root. Okay, that's the partition is sitting on. Okay, so great. What we're gonna do is, let's have some fun. What I'm gonna do is, I already unmounted accounting, right? I have not. I do df-h and hit enter. So the accounting is there as is. All right, now I'm going to do umount/accounting, and I'll hit enter. If I do df-h, the accounting is gone. If you look closely, the accounting is not showing up over here. The accounting is here, but it's not showing up here. Right? Do you see accounting anywhere here? It's gone. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to mount, and this file system here, I'm going to give the source and the destination file system New York, and I'll hit enter. And if I do df-h, now the New York is mounted. Okay, New York is mounted. And where is New York mounted? New York is mounted to accounting now.
ZMPT1 accounting.
So if I do ls, what should I expect in there? Files or no files?
There. File 1 should be there.
All right, let's find out. All right, let's go into CD New York. And file 1 is not there. Why is file 1 not there? That's a big question. Because earlier I said, when you scroll up, over here I mentioned file 1 is sitting where? This file is sitting here. That's the bucket. Okay? So now it doesn't matter where the New York is mounted to. Earlier New York was mounted into this directory, which is the same as this one. Okay, so the file 1 is right now, it's safely sitting there. Okay, still confused?
No, I'm not confused. But the thing is, when we have a file that is in a folder, and once we mount the folder to a new disk, shouldn't the file also move with the folder?
No, that's the beauty of Linux here. So what we have is, we have /New York, and this is a bucket underneath the bucket. Okay, and this bucket is, it has file 1, right? Okay, so this bucket was rel rel root, and then it has file 1 in it. Now what we did was we removed this and we removed the bucket underneath the New York. So whatever you're putting in New York at this moment is going into this bucket, okay? So
Okay.
later on what we did was we removed this bucket from here. When we did U mount, we removed the bucket in here. And what we did was slash New York. So we attach another bucket in here, right?
Correct.
So which bucket we attach? We attach ZMPT1,
Accounting.
ZMPT01 accounting. So when we did that, when we removed the folder from there to here, the file is safely sitting still there. File 1 is still sitting here. Since this bucket is empty, there is nothing in here, but the folder is reading that bucket. So just think the folder as a reading place.
Yeah, this makes perfect sense.
Okay, now over here, instead of New York, I could make another directory and mount it here. I will be able to see these files. So in here, I'm going to make a directory Dallas and attach it to this folder here. Then what you could do is you could see the files there. But I want to show that into the LVM there. So I will come back here one more time. Okay. So let me clear the screen. And let me go back here. If I do df-h, New York is there, right? I'm going to do U mount / New York and hit enter. Now if I go into CD New York and if I do ls here, the file is there. If I do df-h, the file is there. I'm sorry, not df-h, df-h, then present working directory. So it's saying now it's mounted in here. Okay, and I'm going to do U mount -a is going to load it from the etcfs file tab. df-h, so the accounting is back here. So if I go into accounting, cd accounting, and if I do df-h and a period, okay, now we see that files are sitting on the I'm sorry, there are no files yet. So what I'll do is I'll create some files here actually. Touch tax1, tax1, tax2, tax3, tax4, tax5. I'll hit enter and I do ls. So if I do df-h and a period, these 5 files are sitting here on this partition. Okay, at this moment accounting is irrelevant. But if you do pwd, you see the directory is accounting and the files inside are this here, tax1, tax2, tax3, tax4, tax5. Let me U mount accounting again. Okay, the reason you're getting it's busy is because you have to get out of the folder you are unmounting and hit enter. If you do dff-h, now the files are gone. Let's go into CD New York, and what do we have? ls here is nothing. Let's go into CD accounting. What do you expect here?
Nothing.
Okay, very good. There should be nothing in there. And if I do dff and h, where is this going to go back to?
The L root,
Very
which
good.
is unmounted.
Very good. You got it, man. Now,
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm good.
Did you get the concept?
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Yeah, I think you got it. Now, if I mount the original -a, and if I go into accounting, if I do ls, what should I expect?
You would see files now.
Yeah, very good. I would see files. There you go. I'm telling you, everybody, you will never get a job if you don't know the file system inside out. Whatever I started last week, practice it like 100, 200 times. You have to know this stuff. Starting from here actually, yeah. Make sure disk management, wherever it's starting, I'm giving you all the baby steps you would ever need, and this is it. So the very first thing you will find out is the file system, if you are able to give out basic stuff. Okay, so the more you practice, the better it gets. And I gave you the option for 3 servers and all that. You don't have to configure the server, this and that. Play as much you want with those servers. They're available 24/7, and no matter what, you will learn this here. It's easy, it's nice, it's fun, and it's interesting, and the questions are really good. The questions you guys are asking are very good. All right, so last week what we did was we started logical volume. So we identified 3 disks. All right, and then what we decided the disks to put together into one giant disk. Okay, this is 34 GB disk. In there we made partitions here: accounting, finance, HR, this and that. And then also we create okay, this is the LV create, means logical volume create. Okay, so this is the explanation here. LV create, logical volume create, -n means new. Accounting means, you could definitely give any name you want, but put down something which is relevant. Okay, which is relevant to the file system you're going to create. And -uppercase L means make logical partition, and the size, and then this here. The more you do it, the better it gets. All right, so okay, over here I should have shown you how to format. I did everything XFS, right? One of them could be ext4. I'll make a note here. In reality you're not using ext4 anymore, but I'll make a note here that a partition can be either ext4 or XFS file system on same volume group. Same volume group or disk. Okay, as long as partitions are different. So in a big open space, you have two rooms, right? One room is carpeted, other room is hardwood. Is that possible in reality? Yeah, it's possible.
Yes.
All right, good.
What is the current practice in the industry? Do they use ext4 or XFS? Okay,
XFS.
so that's more.
The place I'm working at, it's a bank, and they're, I mean, I have no idea why it's still being poor. The single size of the disk itself is huge. So if you go back here, all right. The single size, a file could be even in ext4 is 16 terabytes. That's usually a database file is there, but in reality, I have not seen a database file going that big. So, long story short, is just the support is available for you. We have all the water in the world. The only drinking water is so less, compared to the oceans we have. So that's how it is. All right, so we have logical volume, and we did this, and we created this. All this is good. All right, now format using XFS file system. Okay, and create a mount point. Okay, BLK ID and all this here, right? Make entries as shown. All right, good. So let's do the script here. It's I'm sorry, I should have been working on this earlier. So you guys know how to run the multiple commands simultaneously, right? Okay. What I have here is pwd, and all these commands you could run it simultaneously. Everybody agree with that statement?
Shell scripting.
Yeah. So what you could do is you could do pwd and all this. You could run next thing after this. What you could do is you could put this into the file and run it also. Okay. So let me do vi script .sh. Let's do vi script, okay, and then I'll hit enter, and over here I'll go and save that text in there, save and exit. If I do cat script, that file is in there. Okay, now what I'm going to, if I need to run this file here, what do? I do bash and the name of the file. There you go, it ran. When you say bash and name of the file, what happens is the bash is going to go in there and look inside the file and execute the commands. Okay, so what command is going to execute? Is going to execute this command pwd, which is this one here, and next one is mkdir directory, which is this one here. Alright, so cannot create directory, one file exist. Okay, obvious, for obvious reason it is correct information. And ls-l is this part here. ls-l, no such file or directory. Okay, so I have to edit -l is been giving a problem here, and then move file 1 to file directory 1, right? Since there was no file 1, it cannot move it. And then it did run the last part here, tree. So this is the tree command. Alright, so you just have to know what you're doing in the script. So let's go ahead and fix the script here. Alright, I'm going to go to VI script, and here what I'm going to do is I'm going to say pwd, and I'm going to say host name. I'm going to just get the informational file, informational commands here, okay? Uptime, and I'm going to say df-h, okay? And I'm going to say lsblk, okay? lsblk. If I do bash script, it ran all those commands in no time. Okay, so what is actually running? So this one is pwd, and this one is host name, this one is uptime, and all these things are here, right? The command is running. All the things you have a file, those commands are getting executed. That's how you put it together. Let's make it nice looking. Let me go into VI script, and I'll hit
Mr.
enter.
Zafar?
Yeah.
I had a question. Why was directory 1 in dir highlighted purple?
Just the directory. It's it's a way to know that it's a file. It's not a directory.
Okay.
Yeah. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say put some text here. Echo. This is pwd, and I ran the command pwd. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I don't have to give semicolon here, and I'm gonna say echo, and I'm gonna put some dashes like this so that it looks good on the eyes when the output comes out. Then I'm gonna say echo, this is host name,
Sorry. On the first echo, this is a PWD. We don't have to put the ending colon, semicolon.
we do, good catch. And here echo, this is host name. Okay, so this is just an echo command, but this command gets executed. When this command gets executed, it will start putting out the output. So host name is the command, and I'm gonna say echo, this is what is this, uptime. Okay, let me copy and paste this part here. You could space out as much as you want, for you to be easy on the eyes. All right, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paste it here and paste it one more time, and I'm gonna go here. Then I'll say what is the command we need? We need dffnh and lsblk.
To get the uptime, shouldn't be the this is uptime in the
Yeah, I'm gonna fix it.
was.
So uptime, let me go ahead and change uptime. All right, so uptime is there, and this is dffnh. This is disk info, and then what I'll do is then I'll do disk info, and I'll do this is file system right here. All right, if I do cat script is there. All right, the script is there, so let me clear the screen and let me do bash script, and there you go. It ran the script here. Okay, so it's saying here this is pwd and this is the output, this is host name, and this is what it is, and go, this is uptime output, and this is file system. So what you're doing is just making it visually appealing so that you could see it better. And this is disk info. Earlier when we ran this without all this here, it was just all the information was together. Okay, this is info. So it's just a silliest script you could write on the planet. So let me just go into vi script, and let me put this into the file here. What I'm gonna do is actually, let me open new file here, script. Actually, the script is Word document is not very helpful. So what I'll do is I'll just put it onto yeah, new, show more options. Okay, new. Where is the text pad? There is no notepad in here. Come on. Okay, so this is the basic script. All right. So I'm gonna just save this here. In fact, I'll just put it in here into, well, I'm not worried about that. Okay, now what we're gonna do is, let me get out of this. Let's go back here and we'll write a script. Okay, now our task is to run whatever we did onto our two other computers. How many everybody got? Yeah, everybody got total of 3. So what I'm gonna do is I made the file system on this server, right? I spent so much time on this server, and I want to replicate the same exact thing on other 2 servers, because these are all belong to the same exact database team, for example, and they have like the project to run on another 2 computers, 2 servers. So I did a hard work on this one here, and I'm not going to do that again on these 2 here. Okay, now how are we going to do that? So what you have to do is you have to go back and trace your commands. So let's work together here. Looking in here, what we need is, we are working only with LVM. Forget about fdisk. Okay, fdisk is only informational. All right, so now what we have here is, I have a same exact setup here on the other 2 computers. So somebody help me. I want to copy the command. What is the very first command to create a LVM? What is the very first command looking in here we used for LVM? So yeah, pv create, this part. Yeah, this part. I'm going to copy that part. Okay, and PVS, I'm not worried about that. I don't want to see that on my output, because it's running on the remote system. Now what I'm going to do is create volume group. I'm going to put everything exact. So I'm going to copy this part, and I'm going to put it into the next line. Okay, and now volume group, this is informational, I don't care about that. Now this part I do care about. So I need to create 4 file systems here. So I'm going to copy all these lines. One thing I'm going to tell you is, when you have a hyphen doesn't really translate good inside the notepad here. So make sure you go back and retype the hyphen again in your notepad. So I'm going to stick with the ext4 file system. Alternately, what you could have done is, you could have copied it from the history. This is when the history comes into play. It has all the commands you've been typing in here. Now you see why history is so important. Now the only problem you have to worry about is you have to delete the numbers in front of it because that's not a command. So I'm removing the white space from here. All right. And then what happened is we made the associated directories for it. So let me go ahead and get rid of this part.
Question.
Yes, sir.
I think I forgot something that when you run the history command, so how many lines you can see the history of?
All of them. All you have to do is you have to set the terminal here. Going to change the settings and where is this appearance or connection, and not that one here. Window, and put the large number in here. Lines of scroll back. Put a very large number. Yeah,
Oh,
then you are comfortable with it.
okay. Thank you.
Now this part is tricky here. So what you're going to do is go in here and copy all this. All right. So when you're copying this part, please pay attention here. This part, how you're going to make an entry onto the remote server. So what you have to do is you have to put this in echo quote, double quotes, the entire line as is, and greater than /etc fstab. All right, be careful with this here. I mean, now you realize, how important this redirector is. Remember we talked about this redirector, 0, 1 and 2, and 0 is what? Standard input, and this is output, and this is error, and this is 0 is represented by like this, and this is like this, and like that. Actually it comes behind. All these things come behind here. Let me erase that. And if we use double, we're not gonna overwrite the file. All we're doing is we're gonna add to the file. Okay. All right. So now let's repeat what we did to the other lines too. Echo space and put this in quotes and double arrow line /etc fstab. Don't put the single arrow in there. You're going to be in trouble. And if it's a production box, well, you start packing bags or clear out your desk and go home. Okay, now all right. So I did this here, and I'm pretty certain all this thing is going to come out the way it looks, because everything else earlier in the commands we did the same exact thing. And now once it's there, the only command you have to do is, you don't have to physically mount all this. You have to do mount -a. The directories are made and all that, mount -a. So I'll put mount -a. Alright, so my script is ready. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go to my document here, and just to be certain, I'm going to start from top, and I'm going to retrace what I did here, and then I'll save the script. Okay, so we did PV create. So here I'm going to put a little thing here, echo running PV create. Okay, and I'm going to close that. And here I'm going to say echo it's not a rocket science, guys. Don't get intimidated here. Stop me if you're not able to follow through. All right, give me one moment here. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so this part, the echoes I'm doing right now is only the visual appeal here. That's it. Echo running volume group VG create. Okay. And echo now creating logical volumes. Okay, see, I'm missing one volume in here. Okay, that's how you should make sure you're following that through here. So which one is missing? Probably database, the last one, isn't it?
Accounting is missing.
Accounting is missing, the very first one.
Yeah.
All right, so now the volume group show PV create is done, and volume VG create is done. Okay, and now I'm going to make a logical volume. So I should have 4. Well, okay, so I already created one here and put the output. Okay, now I need to create 1, 2, 3 logical volumes, 4. All right, which I did 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then now echo creating directories for mounting. Okay, so all this looks good here. and BLK ID, I'm not worried about that. All right, make entries into ETCFS tab.
Explain this again, the making entries into FS tab. And why did you echo that to the output to the ETCFS tab and just did not run the command straight away?
All right, very good question. I was expecting that. So go scroll up, find the echo command and read that out to me. From the website, go and locate the echo command. All right, let me do it for you. So over here, Control F, echo, and here's the uses. These command lines repeat the text as output. Okay, so what we did here is, if I do echo and if I do Linux course and hit enter, what is the output gonna be?
Not the output, because you don't have those exclamation marks.
Okay. So what is the output gonna be now?
Now it will be Linux codes.
Okay, good. Now what about now?
Yes, whatever is in the parentheses will be an output.
Okay, good. Now what is the redirector? Let's go into the redirector. I explained you redirector. So this is a redirector here, right? Can you see that on the screen, or is it too up high?
Yes. No, it's good.
And here, what we did was echo this is fun course and file 1. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hide that too. So if I do, and if I do 1 greater than, and let's put this into a script file, and I'll hit enter. Now where did the output supposed to be on the screen? Where did it go?
It went into the file, the script file,
Okay,
because
good.
you sent it out.
Script file. So let's go into VI script file. And what happened here? We had some content here. What happened now?
It
Overwrote it.
It got overwritten.
Yeah, it's overwritten. So that is very dangerous. So what you have to do is you should get in the habit of doing double quote here.
Double
If you go do a double quote, and if I say this is Linux course and this is fun, and I'll hit enter. So what happens is cat, I do script. So it kept the first line and it added to the bottom of the line here.
Right.
Now what
Zafar, I understand this double arrow part, but my question to you was, while you are writing the script, you are writing the commands, right? But only for this fs tab command you are echoing that. Why are you echoing that?
let's go into echo fs tab here.
Okay.
vi/etc fs tab. So we have to make, okay, remember this script is going to run on the other 2 servers, okay?
Yes.
And other 2 servers, they don't have this. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree. Okay, now so you're sending the data into the file so that those servers have this data in there.
Exactly, you got it, man.
Makes sense. Okay, perfect. I got it.
Now once you do mount -a, it will mount those file system for you.
Perfect. I got it.
All right. So now what else we have here? We have mkdir. No, this is actually creating file system. Okay, and then now I'm going to say echo double quotes, creating directories. All right, now if you are not redirecting it somewhere, it will show up on the screen. Okay. All right, then I'm going to say echo making file system. No, making fs tab entries. Why do we make fs tab entries? Just in case if the server reboots, what will happen is it will forget those files need to be mounted. So whatever it has, whatever you have saved into the etcfs file tab, during the reboot, the system reads the etcfs file tabs and then mounts that file system for you, so that the system will be up and running. And when you do mount -a, this will read it from the etcfs file tab. All right, so looking at visually here, it looks good to me, right? Okay, good. Now let's see here. Okay. What time is this? 11:20. So we have. All right, so what I'm going to do is let me copy all this, and I'm going to create a script here inside Linux. I'm going to go VILVM script, and I'll do what I'm going to do is I'm going to go O, and I'm going to say okay. Okay, so I'm gonna one more time I'm gonna visually check this. Creating logical volumes. Won't have any. All right, let me go into VI script, and now I'm going to show you how to run the script on a remote server. Let's run the informational script first before we really do anything. I'm bringing that script back. This is basic script, right? I'm gonna copy this, put it back in here. If I do bash script, it ran our script just fine, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is I want to run the script on my two other servers here. My two other servers is 150, 50 and 164. So before I do that, what I'll do is ping 10.1.10.50. It's pinging, it's up and running. And then 164. Let me clear this. If you want only ping to like give you one or two ping outputs, what you have to do is -c and 1 or 2. It's going to ping 2 times and give you the output 1, 2, and it will automatically cancel out. Rather than the one you're running here, you have to do Control-C to cancel it out. It's going to continue pinging until the system goes down. Did you guys get this?
Yes.
So now what we have is I have the file script here. So what I'm going to do is let's do a test here. So how are we going to test this on a remote server? So I'm going to send this on my third server. Make sure, now this is where the passwordless comes in. Let's do SSH 10.1.10.50. Ooh. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to say no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure set the SSH passwordless here. So what is the command? SSH copy ID. I should actually do we set up SSH between the users and not the root user, okay? So when you connect to the other server, you're not going to be connecting as a root, which we need here. So let's run this command here, SSH keygen one more time. Enter, enter, enter. All right. And next command is SSH copy -copy ID. And you don't have to give root or whatever. If you're logged in as root, it will think it is a root password. 10.1.10. What was it? 50, right? Yes.
Yes.
Red Hat. All right, and I'm going to do the same thing on 164. Yes. Red Hat. All right. So if I do the regular SSH, notice it won't ask me for the password here. SSH. And there you go. How do you know you're in a different server? It has, I was in ZMPT Zafar 1, and this is test here. Let me exit. Let me go back to 50 and hit enter. And there you go, it's working too. This is Zafar 2. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the script, the test script first on the remote server so that it's working. All right, so how I'm going to do the script here. So you bring,
Don't you have to you have to go back to the previous server because this is the server that you're going to send the output to.
yeah, very good. And I'm onto the host name, and this is how you keep doing. I mean, yeah, ls-l, you are in there now. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do SSH, the IP address 10.1.10.50. All right, now here's a trick here. Now you have to put the quotes in here, and you do bash -s. So you do, if you do bash -s, that means it's gonna run the script. And now you have to provide which script? Input file LVM script. Okay, now you see why the redirector is so important. I made a different topic here. So input is greater than sign. Now it's coming back to haunt you all. Make sure you know how the redirector works, okay? It's really important. Now we are telling this file to use the, so what it's gonna do is it will SSH, and at the same time, once the connection is established, what it'll do is it will take the file with it and run it onto the remote server. You think is that going to happen or no? This part is a regular SSH, right? Give me 1 second here.
Could you explain again what does the bash -s in the quotes do again?
Yeah, okay. If you're on a system, do man bash. You have man bash. All right, let me quit this here. Give me 1 second. Man bash, and let's take a look here what is S is doing. -C is captioning, -S. If this option is present is or no argument remain after option processing and commands are read from the standard input. Okay, and this option allows the positional parameter to be set when invoking an interactive shell. So what this means is it need to invoke. That means it need to engage. It need to engage the bash and then start reading from the input file when it receives on the other end. Okay, the keywords over here is this here. Invoking an interactive shell. So interactive shell means shell on the other system, or over here too. You could do it locally too, but you run with the option S. Arguments means, what are the arguments? Whatever we have inside the script, those are called arguments. All right, so let's see how this is going to work.
So why do you need it in quotes?
All right, so the reason we need it in quotes is so all right, so let me bring the line. Okay, the reason you put this in quotes is to preserve the command. Okay, so what will happen is when you're sending a command, this part here, you want this as a single command, right? If you send this without quotes, then the interpreter will say this is as separate and this is as separate, and we want this together.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
this is input symbol, and this is the file. All right, now let's cross our fingers and see if it's going to work. I'll hit enter, and it made the connection, and look at that, making FS tab entries. So what happened is we ran the script there, and it might have already done that. So we ran the script here. So what we're gonna do is, let me go here and change this part. And what is the command to look at the disk if they are mounted or not? df-h. Look at that. Our file script is working. It ran the script, and it made the entries, and it's working, and it mounted and everything. All that happened right in front of your eyes. Whatever time we spent, like an hour and a half here last week, you copied all the commands and everything, and it ran on the server in no time. Now let's do that onto the other server also. When I hit enter, somebody start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is less than 10 seconds. You accomplished what you did with the script on a remote server in less than 10 seconds. And let's get the output here. Any question, guys? This is why you're gonna get paid in a Linux here. Stick with Linux compared to Windows, and the same experience. If you have like a 5-year experience or a 2-year, 3-year, whatever, and somebody's offering you $100,000 for a Windows and Windows environment and the Linux. Now let's go in there manually and take a look if it really happened or not. It did. VI ETCFS tab. And there you go. All the entries are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 entries. All right. Any questions? And I don't think it will keep the history here, the command history. Yeah, it did it. And the script was ran. What else I could do is, I could take this command and say if I have hundreds, if I have like 20 systems, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna say vi20 system LVM, and I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna paste in here, and I'm gonna do YY. And all I have to do is, I'm running in 20 systems, so what do I have to change here? Somebody, come on.
Change the IP address.
Change the IP address. Very good. 165, 166. Most of the time, it's in series. 167, 168, 169. I'm not going to run this now, but you got the idea. You know, if you have 100, do 102. Sky is the limit here. And then how do I run this? I come here and I do bash and I do this and I hit enter, I go away and I come back and then it will be ready for you. Let me run it just for the fun. It's failing so bad. Obviously it's going to fail because it's already there, you know. I mean, here's the thing here, don't be just running stuff on those things here that you don't already know what is going to happen, okay? Use your common sense. All right, guys, let's take a good 20-minute break and we'll come back at noon, okay? Noon Central, and then we'll continue on. And we don't have too much topics left here. The class will end before the end of this. Two more, not even two more. Yeah, maybe two more. Next week and a week after that, the class will be done. And after that, we'll work on. Okay, I'm back here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Zafar bhai, I had a
Yeah,
question.
sure.
So you said that we will be ending the session maybe in a couple of classes. So
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find a command that will delete all the LVMs here, right? You know what? No, I'm not gonna do that now. Let's do that later on. So I have df-h, right? So far everything is running good. So before that, let me make sure I have all the I'm gonna save this as LVM script. So now what we have here is I do dff and h, right? So what's gonna happen now is, so we got a request here. This is only 2 gigabytes. So HR, they asked 2 gigabytes. Now they're crying that they don't have enough space on this disk space here. So what you need to do is you need to increase the disk. How are you going to do that? Okay, let's look at it. Actually, what I'll do is I'll put run. Okay, it's just not LVM script. You could run any script, okay? Remote host. How are you gonna do that? It's pretty simple. Okay, let's see. I ran this here, this script just for fun. And if I do dffnh, let's do dffnh on the remote server. See if it break. Okay. Alright, nothing happened there, okay? But what might happen is fs tab. Okay, fs tab is good too. Okay. So this part is SSH. Yeah, SSH into the server. This part is clear, right, everybody? I'm just putting in for the documentation purpose. And this is the command. Bash-s, and here input redirector. And then script. Okay, so this is a file source. What if the files is sitting somewhere else? You have to give the full path, okay? Alright, so did you guys get the idea, right? This over here, you could run all the commands. All the commands you ever ran. Uptime. You're running this on the remote server. Host name. Who. Okay. I here's a silence here. Can somebody confirm you understand what is happening here?
Yes, sir.
Pretty much.
Okay. Cat etc fs tab. You could also get the fs tab output. Fs tab. There you go. You don't have to connect there here. And also let's see memories information free -h, or let's see LSCP. I'll show you what I'm running this here end of the class. So these are the commands. I mean, you could literally run any number of commands here. What if you run like multiple commands? Who, semicolon, uptime, host name. Now you got the idea what is happening here. There you go. All those things are coming up. Okay? Who didn't ran? Who didn't ran? Okay, W is working. All right, so let's get out of this. And here, now what we need to do is we need to extend the
Question.
yeah.
Little confusion that you ran all commands to the remote server, dot 50, right? So, but you are doing from root. So when you are doing on the remote server, so we shouldn't have the prompt of the remote server.
That's where passwordless is coming in. You don't have to have a
Okay.
prompt. You're just sitting wherever you are and checking out the other servers.
Okay. Okay. You don't have to go to
No,
use the password.
that will kill. What
Password.
if you want? What if you have to go to do that to onto 100 servers? You're gonna be sitting there and logging into 100 servers? No.
Right. Got it.
All right, here's this is something I just thought of. Let's see if it's gonna work. And let's do 164. And you could throw that into there you go, it got that information from two. So what you could do is you could do like a little echo also. I'm telling you
This is going to be only possible after we have the key, similar key for all of us.
yeah, that's the thing, passwordless, this is a real thing. When you go into if what the term is I'm trying to look is what is this coming up here? Okay. So, for example, okay, now we're going to talk about extending the logical volume here. Give me 1 second, somebody.
So when the engineers are doing all these setup already, so why do they need the administrator?
Okay, now, so HR is crying that they want the extra disk space, right? So what you do is you do df-h and you see HR, and it's only 2 GB. What they want is now they want another 4 GB, so total of 6 GB. So extend the logical volume for HR. So what is the step? So right now HR is only 2 GB, right? Okay. So first of all, what we need to do is we need to go up here, and over here you have to see the volume group, okay, and determine the free space. So in real world scenario, how you gonna do that? You're gonna do VGS, volume group show. All right, before that you want to find out what volume group the HR is sitting on. HR is sitting on the volume group ZMPT01. It's sitting on ZMPT01 and we need to add another 4 GB. Okay, to see the command to see the volume group is VGS. VGS stands for volume group show. I already explained this earlier here. VGS stands for volume group show. Okay. So back then it was 34 GB left. Now that we have built so many logical volumes here, so 34 GB is total size, and we have another 12 GB is available. So the request is, how much is the request for? To add another 4 GB.
4 GB.
All right, so let's work on that. So, all right. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna say, actually, let me use up everything. Let me use up everything here. Okay. So now add. The request is to add additional 12 GB for HR. You know what? Actually, it's let me make it additional 10 GB. Let's do that. Okay. Add additional 10 GB for HR, and I'm gonna do. Here's the command here. We figure out what is the size available, right? The size available is 12 GB. It says a little bit. Okay, in reality, not everything is gonna be perfect 12 GB. Okay, I think I mentioned this. When you buy a cell phone, if it's 64 GB, not all 64 GB of the phone is there available for you. The disk space, I mean, because the operating system takes up the files and all that that come with pre-installed application or whatever, they take up the space. So not the exact disk space is going to be available. Okay, same goes over here. All right, now that we determined what this is, okay, so how are we going to extend this? We're going to have to do LV extend. I'm going to say LV extend. Okay, and I want to give hyphen L. That means I'm extending a logical disk, and I'm adding 10 gigabytes plus 10 GB. You don't have to add B there. 10 G. Okay, and the full path. You have to give the full path here. Dev mapper and full path, cut and paste it here. So what we are saying is the command is so the command we are saying is LV extend is, we are telling it to extend logical volume. And extend means to extend it. Hyphen L means logical. And 10 GB is how much you are adding. Size to add. And this is the destination source. Now destination. File system destination. All right, so before that, I just thought of one more command. You could also do LVS, logical volume show. Over here, you see, this will show everything in here, and you have HR 2 GB, okay? Now we're gonna run the command. Okay, so I ran the command and says the logical volume has been done. LV extend minus L and all that here. Okay, so now how do you determine this is has been extended? Do LVS again. Now you see the logical volume has been extended. Everybody agree with me?
Yes.
It was 10, we added 10, now it's showing 12 GB, which is good.
I have a silly question.
Yes, sir.
Like we have different departments, HR, finance, accounting. So, for example, once we finish the total volume of how we gonna solve that? Add additional, just say no.
That's coming up, actually.
Okay.
All right. So, all right. Now it says 12 GB, right? Now if you do DFF and H, when you do DFF and H, it's still showing 2 GB. Okay, because the operating system doesn't know yet. It has to register deep inside the operating system. So what we're gonna do that, there's a command for that. I'm going to remove all this here. I'm just going to keep the one which we are focused on. So this is still 2 GB, right? Now, to
Update the system.
To make it available, run this command here. So the command you have to run is xfs underscore grow fs, growfs. So this is a built-in command to grow the file system. That's what it's telling you. And which file system you want to grow? The destination file system, which is HR. And it does whatever it need to do. And then when you do a DFF and H, it will be available here. Now, if you do DFF and H, see how easy was this? The file system was 4 GB. How much was it? 2 GB. Now it's up to 12 GB. And all this at the same time, it could be the production server which you are running here. So all this happened without you have to shut it down or do anything, make a downtime, anything like that. Did you get it? It was all done in the background, and nobody would ever know what happened here. Okay, and the system.
What if? Sorry.
Yeah.
What if you don't do the registration? So will it work?
No, it will still be stuck at 2.
Okay.
Okay, you have to do it to make it available. Okay.
Okay.
So if you did this part and you went home and you didn't run this command, you're gonna get a call. Somebody told you to extend the disk, why you need to do that? And you keep arguing you did this, but what you have not done is you have not done this last part. So keep this thing as your Bible and keep it with you all the time. So everything in here, it will be lifesaver for you, for initially, at least initially when start working for sure. And it's a good habit that when you start working, take notes, keep it down, jot it down, put it in Notepad or put it in Word document, whatever. Okay, so that you keep track of it. All right, so other than that, let's see here. Now coming back to your question here. Now the database is crying, they need more space. They want another 20 GB. And you come in here and you say, oh, you run into problem. They're crying about to have another 20 GB and you don't have enough space here. So that's where the next topic is. What time is it? Another 5 minutes. We'll continue next week, okay?
Okay.
All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a physical hard drive in here. So far, we dealt with SDE, SDF, SDG, and that thing is running out too. So very first thing what you're going to do is you're going to come here and see, you do LSBLK. And you notice there is another hard drive sitting there and getting wasted here, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to add this drive into the volume group and then it will extend itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this part here. All right, so now what we're going to do is we have SDH. I'm going to merge this here. So /dev/SDH. Okay, and how much is this? Baby is 24 GB. Okay, let me readjust this part here. Okay, now so this will be 58 GB, right? Yeah. This will be 58 GB when it merges here. And this space is 2 GB space is there, and HR is 12 GB now. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is this both is going to merge here. So 24, so it is going to be 24 plus 2 GB is going to be 26 GB. Okay, so before that what you're going to do is once you determine this disk is sitting there and getting wasted, let's add this disk to the volume group. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in here. Okay, so here's the available disk, and let's add it to the group here. So before you add it, the command you have to do is pvcreate. pvcreate /dev/sdh. So what it'll do is it will make the disk ready for logical volume, PVS, and it says it's sitting there and getting wasted again. And you run these commands. And inside there, the one we are looking for is it formatted the drive for the LVM. Okay, now the next command what we're gonna do is volume group. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we'll tell the system to add SDH to the part of ZMPT01. So if you do VGS right now, still 2 GB, right? Now what we're gonna do is VG extend. Volume group extend, and where are you extending the volume group to? This part here. Okay, what is happening here? VG extend.
You have to give the path, I think.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. You have to tell which one. In the middle, you have to say which one you wanted to extend. VG extend, and you're telling extend ZMPT01, and what do you want to extend with? You want to extend with dev/sdh. There you go. Now if you do VGS, and now you have 26 GB of disk spaces available. PVS is there. 2 more minutes, we're done for the day. VGS, run this command. This is a garbage command. I'm going to remove that. In fact, I'll move this to the new line. And okay, and this is the command you did. And here you go. You have about 26 gigabytes is available here. So if you see here, total is 58, and down here is 26 gigabyte is available here. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna extend database another 10 GB, or they want 20 GB, right? So I'm gonna make this 30 GB. So what are the commands? The same commands we just learned. LV extend. Before that, what you do is df-h, and you determine which one you want to extend. So you run LV extend -L and you do plus 10 GB, right? What was the command? 10 GB? Hyphen plus
Plus 10.
plus 20 GB. Okay, well, while you're doing, somebody came up and said, oh no, give me everything what is available in there, okay? If you want to do that, what you do is you do 100% free. And name of the logical volume. And hit enter. Can parse LV extend.
I think you did not add plus sign before 100%.
Yeah. Thank you. Very good. Error during parsing a command, can't parse size. Maybe let me do.
Maybe because of the 100% doesn't apply because something has to be left over.
No. Well, let's see if this is gonna work. Even I don't know how to do this because I don't do this often. So your friend is Google, okay? So guys, don't be shy when you go into the job. Don't be shy and putting into Google, okay? Nobody's gonna scold you. Extend LVM to 100% available. Oh, I have to say lower I. Okay, and this is a Red Hat solution. Do you see? This is coming from the official Red Hat. By the way, everybody created the Red Hat, right? It's coming from the official Red Hat. And it says solution verified. Okay, so this can be wrong here. So you could run this command. All we needed was a small L. Okay, let's see if it's gonna work.
Small L only for the 100%.
That's what it looks like. It took it. All right. Now, how much disk space is left? Volume group, how much is left?
0.
0.
Okay, so now it's still showing 10 GB. Why is it showing 10 GB? PVS and LVS. Okay, now it's probably still showing because we have not added to the, if you do DFFNH, yeah. So the database is still sitting at 10 GB here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run the XFS grows. XFS underscore grow FS and the name of the database. All right, now let's do VGS. Still showing 10 GB free. DFFNH. So our database did went up to 26 GB here. From 10 GB it went up to 26 GB, which is extra 16 GB. And I need to.
But don't you extend for 20 GB?
I extended everything available.
So I think what happened was it replaced 26 GB and it freed the 10 GB there because it should show 36 GB here.
I know I shouldn't have done that. PVS, LVS, sorry, LVS. If you look at the LVS, the database is showing. So if you got confused here, you have to go in here and see what happened here. LV extend -L I didn't run on database. PV create VG. Yeah, looks good to me. Volume group VG extend I ran VG extend this in here, right? Oh, let's see here. LSBLK and SDH is 24 GB. Okay, out of 24 GB, it kind of took everything in here because it's being partially saved here and here. So what is happening here? Databases.
Do you want to extend the 10 more GB and see if it patches onto there?
New size given is not larger than existing size. I'm not even telling it to extend the specific. Alright, let's take a look here. Give me 1 second here. LV extend L plus 100% free, and that's what I did. LV extend L plus 100% free.
There's no plus sign over there.
Oh. But I thought I did a plus sign one time. Did somebody reminded me? Oh, even after that, I didn't put a plus sign in there. Okay, guys. Yeah, there you go. You guys. Aha. Now it did it. Okay, and if you do VGS, yeah, it's 0 now. Yeah. All right, thanks, server. So, you have to figure things out on your own. No matter how long you've been working, it's meaningless. All you have to do is...
So, Mrs. Zafar,
yeah.
so why was it working for everything else except for this one without the plus?